Now, real quick, let's define the differences between controlling, managing, and protecting one's emotions. While all emotional control, management, and protection aim to safeguard your overall emotional well-being, control is typically executed to suppress or repress certain emotions, usually for proper, healthy intentions, while managing one's emotions focuses on understanding, accepting, responding, and utilizing key emotions to balance out healthy and effective ways that help us lead healthy and happy lives. Protecting one's emotions is just what it means. Protecting yourself against external and internal emotions that might get the best of you. Here's a more detailed breakdown though. Check this out. Controlling your emotions. Who was involved the last time you either expressed some kind of emotion to the degree that it may have been deemed abnormal, unhealthy, out of line, uncalled for, damaging, or hurtful? Or the opposite. You experienced some kind of emotion internally that was devastating, hurtful, painful, distressing, depressing, sad, heart-rending, etc. Who was it that triggered those feelings or emotions? Someone else? You? Both of you simultaneously? Not to get ahead of ourselves, but are there recurring events of feeling these types of emotions with the same person, different people, and or yourself alone? Then, what happened? What was it that triggered you to such a degree that you couldn't or didn't control your emotions? And what type of emotion did you display? Was it anger, joy, disappointment, excitement, frustration, intense outbursts, difficulty calming down, even in minor situations, having difficulty managing anger or frustration, raising your voice or a hand, screaming, yelling, swearing, etc. What happened? Or was it something that you experienced internally that didn't leave you feeling the best? What was it? So the first part of understanding the control aspect is who did what to you, and then of course what happened. Also where. Where were you when this occurred? Were you at home, at work, out and about, over at someone's house, out on the road? Where? Do you seem to experience these emotions in the same general location, or do they happen just wherever you might be at the time? Location, location, location. When? When was the last time these emotions came over you? How often do you exhibit or experience such emotions? Why? Why do you either express such emotions that perhaps aren't good for you or the other person? Were there any trigger warnings you could have seen to prevent the way you either acted, reacted, or felt the way you did? And then how? How can you learn from any of these emotional experiences you may having or keep having? What can be learned so you remember the best way to handle them or control them from doing harm to yourself and or others? Well, here's a simple formula. Number 1, observe. Number 2, learn. Number 3, respond. Number 4, get help if needed. So number 1, observe what happened to you and or others and why it happened. Number 2, learn what caused XYZ emotions to pop up and why. Why did they come up? Learn. Number 3, respond more appropriately next time and remember what happened the last time you experienced XYZ emotions. Respond properly and better, quicker, more sharply, with more precision. And number 4, get help if you need it. When you can't seem to control your emotions time after time, and they keep getting the best of you, and maybe someone else, perhaps it's time to get a little help. And I'll get into that in the book coming up. So, you see, that in a nutshell is what controlling your emotions is all about. Understanding the who, what, where, when, why, and how. And then observing and learning and responding properly and then getting help. Even if it's self-help. Like, hey, I'm going to work on that, myself. I'm going to try to prevent that from happening again. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. So, again, that in a nutshell is what controlling your emotions is all about. Now let's talk a little bit about managing your emotions. Managing your emotions. Managing your emotions is really about taking inventory of all your emotions, which I'll get into in part 2 of the book, and knowing how best to care for them and yourself so you maintain the utmost harmony, happiness, and balance between them and you, your mind, your heart, others, and how you live your life stress-free and with peace of mind. You see, if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't address, take care of, and manage our emotions on a day-to-day basis like we should, eventually we just might lose it. We might go nuts, bonkers, lash out unexpectedly or uncontrollably. We may experience sorrow or similar emotions more easily and more often than others, perhaps harm ourselves or others in ways that aren't healthy for us, whether that's mentally, physically, intellectually, financially, sexually, and of course, emotionally. You see, managing one's emotions is about understanding, accepting, and responding to emotions in healthy ways that are effective without the need to suppress them or get help because you can't control them or protect them. When you manage your emotions correctly, you're best able to express and regulate your emotions in ways that don't harm yourself or others. There are several ways to go about managing your emotions the right way, which again, we'll dive into when we get to part 2 of this book on managing emotions. In the meantime, let's talk about protecting your emotions real quick. Simply put, emotional protection is just that, protecting your emotions from harm, abuse, and being taken advantage of to help maintain a prosperous, healthy, and balanced life. I get into wonderful, creative, even blunt ways of protecting your heart, your mind, and your emotions in part 3, protecting your emotions, coming up. I can't wait for you to check out that section. And my emotional protective tactics, which I call Bartisms. You're going to love them. I know I do. I live by them every single day. I have been for the past 40 plus years. That said, let's turn the page or proceed to the next audio in this series and get into part 1, controlling your emotions, and get the ball rolling towards creating a life that's, like I say, stress-free and overloaded with peace of mind throughout all your days ahead, like mine.